Hey guys, it's Zoe. Welcome back to my channel. I have a special guest. You probably know who this is. This is my boyfriend Dawson. So today, as you can tell from the title, we are going to be doing relationship tips and advice, how to have a long, healthy, and strong relationship, and just our personal tips. Little disclaimer, because I know you have to put one on every single video because people get offended by everything. So one, we're not trying to offend anyone. Like, obviously, this is what works for us. So we're not perfect. We're not saying we're perfect. Obviously, no relationship is perfect. We're not professionals either. Obviously, we're teenagers just like everyone else, but we feel like we have tips and advice to help people out there. So if you're just getting into a relationship or you want to get into a relationship or you're having problems in yours, we're also answering questions at the end that people have asked us as well. So let's get started. First, we're going to give our tips and advice on what we think makes a good, healthy relationship and is what has worked for us, and then we will move into the questions. So obviously, I know this is cliche to say, but every relationship needs trust and communication. Without trust, you will be like driving yourself insane with the other person if they don't trust you or you don't trust them, and it will obviously cause a lot of miscommunication. And then when you lack communication, you can't read the person's mind, they can't read yours, and if they're doing something wrong and they don't know it, you don't tell them, then how is it going to get fixed? So without trust and communication, it would be nothing. Those are the two main things, which is like we're going to get more into detail with the questions.
Both people have to be willing to try. Because if only one tries, then that's not really a relationship, because it takes two people.
I would also like to say it depends on the two people and how they work together. Sometimes no matter how hard you try and how hard both people are working, sometimes it just won't work out. So obviously this isn't going to work for every single couple. Some people aren't just meant to be and they always continue to try to make it work. So it just depends on your personalities and your opinions and how those go together as two people. Another thing that is important to a relationship is compromise and sacrifice.
Give and take.
So basically, it's not all about you. A relationship is two people. So yes, your needs are important, but their needs are also important. And sometimes if you can't come to an agreement, you have to compromise. You have to meet in the middle. And sometimes you have to sacrifice something. Not obviously life sacrifice or like anything like
dinner.
super, yeah, like
Dinner.
Food or something like that you guys don't agree on for the other person, stuff like that. It's just give and take. Next thing we both think is really important is time and place, because if you meet someone at the time in your life where you're ready to be in a relationship and you're at the best place, well, that other person might not be, and I really believe in that because yes, you may be meant to be with them later on in life, but it's all about timing. What if their time in their life isn't ready? You have to meet someone that where you guys are both at the best time and the best place in your lives, because when someone's going through so much, it's really hard to be there because they're not themselves. They're in a bad time, and if they have so much going on, it's a lot to take in. I feel like if both people are not at the time and place, then it may clash, which is why some things don't work out. So the next thing is jealousy. I know this is a lot of problems in relationships, so we're going to talk about kind of how to handle it a little bit better because I know it's not going to completely disappear. So jealousy can be cute to a certain extent, it means the other person cares about you, because if they're not jealous at all, it's kind of do you even care that anything is happening? But that's only to a certain extent. If it gets excessive, that's when it's not cute anymore. And you have to realize if you're getting jealous of other people, that person chose to be with you and not that other person. And if they really wanted to be with that person, they would be with that person. So if they're with you, I don't really think you should worry too much because they obviously chose you over them and they're still with you. So to get jealous over another person, it's you already won because you're the one dating them. Obviously, trust with jealousy. Yes, you can be, jealous of someone and jealous of what's happening, but if you trust that person, that's what's going to control it, because if you don't trust the person, oh, why are you talking to this blah blah blah, I saw, and it goes in this big thing. So if you trust the person, then you trust them to be around the opposite gender. You trust them to be around stuff like that and make the right choice.
So it's good to hide some jealousy sometimes because you don't want to seem controlling and it make the relationship unhealthy. If you're jealous about something that's really stupid but you're still jealous about it, just tell yourself it doesn't bother you. Just pretend it doesn't. That's how I get, how it doesn't bother me. And if it's something serious that you can't get over it, tell the woman.
Or the man.
Or the man.
You also shouldn't compare your relationship to other people's relationship because that's just going to make you sad. It's like comparing yourself to someone. Oh, why don't we have that? Why doesn't he do that for me? Because what you see on Instagram of a cute couple, yes, they may look like couple goals or whatever, but there's so much behind closed doors that you don't know about their relationship. And again, there's two separate people. They act two separate ways. They bond differently. So if you compare your relationship to another relationship, you're never going to be happy, because you need to focus on your relationship. This is yours, not someone else's. Don't break up over every little thing, because that's going to get you nowhere. If it's something that can be worked out and talked about, then do it. If you're going to break up with them over every argument, over every fight, you're going to get nowhere. You just need to tell them how you feel. Yes, you're going to argue, but then after that, work it out, unless it's something huge. Also, do not jump to conclusions or assumptions. You need to talk to them first. You need to give them the benefit of the doubt, because sometimes it's worse than what you, it's not as bad as you think, and if you're just assuming all this stuff and you're coming at them, they're going to be like, what's going on? You need to literally ask them before you just assume.
That can cause big fights as well.
Yeah, so, especially if you're hearing it from someone else, and you need to, talk to that person personally.
You need a lot of patience. A lot of patience.
When you're dealing with another person, you have to be patient. That's how that works. You're not just worrying about yourself, like I said. You have to be willing to make time for the other person and care about their feelings too. I know another big topic is clinginess and how people go about that. So instead of just breaking up with them if they're too clingy, you need to talk about that, obviously, in the relationship, so you know what you're getting yourself into. You need to discuss how much is too much, how much you like personally, and come to an agreement on how much affection is going to be shown.
Compromise.
Yep. See? Mm-hmm. So for social media, I know that's a big thing that causes problems in relationships. So again, you need to trust the person. If you trust them, then it should save a lot of things. For 2, you need to communicate about it, how you're going to go about that, if you guys are into sharing passwords, and if you're not into sharing passwords, then if they can have the password to your phone when you're hanging out, they can open your social media, but you don't want to go obsessive about it. And yes, if they like a girl's picture on Instagram, oh my gosh, what is going, no, you need to just, like I said, don't jump to assumptions. Just ask them and tell them what bothers you, or you're gonna get nowhere. And really, I think it's so stupid how social media breaks up so many relationships. Oh, did you see what he said? No, just it's on the freaking internet. Okay, I don't know how to word this, but you shouldn't let it be the center of your relationship. There's more things to life than who posted what on Twitter, blah, 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 so.
Equality is a very important thing, I think. You shouldn't expect things from the other person. You should not expect the guy to buy every single dinner when you're dating for a year and a half or whatever. Be able to take a joke.
Because, the person will be, trying to mess with you, when you're more comfortable in your relationship. And if you take it, so seriously, if they call you ugly, obviously they're dating you. They don't actually think you're ugly. So, just learn to take jokes and, mess around with each other.
So, I think please and thank yous are very important. Because when you do the stupid little stuff, and she just kind of is, happy but doesn't say anything, it's kind of just, cool.
You want to feel, appreciated.
I'm glad you like that.
Yeah. So another thing that's important is to be adults, not literally, but you need to be mature. If you want it to last, obviously you can joke around about some stuff, but when it comes to serious matters, adults don't just break up every 5 seconds. You know what I mean? You need to be able to act like adults and treat each other like adults and be mature if you want it to last. Another thing is to love yourself first, and I know people blah blah blah, that's a cliche thing to say too, but even if you can't love yourself first, just accept yourself before you're with someone else, because if you're always bringing yourself down in the relationship, it does not look good on you, for 1, and for 2, if you can't learn to accept your own problems, how are you gonna love someone else's problems and love everything that comes with them? And you want to be truly happy, and you want to give them your all, so you don't want to be all hating yourself. Another thing is to be confident. I'm not saying be cocky or conceited where you just think you're, the best thing ever, but you need to be confident to a certain extent, because you don't want to fish for compliments. You already know they're going to give you compliments whether you want them or not, so take the compliments, for 1, and for 2, you don't want to be fishing for compliments. It's really unattractive, no offense, when a girl is very negative about herself, because yes, you may think you're so fat and ugly, but the boy that's dating you obviously doesn't think that. He sees what he sees in his eyes, and if he's truly telling you you look great, he really thinks you look great. You look confident, that's so much more attractive to a guy. Is that true? Like, when a girl is confident, it just, like, it makes you 10 times more attractive, even if you're pretending to be confident.
Support them. Support them through the good times and the bad times as well.
The bad times is when they need you the most in their life. You need to not give up on them during that time. You need to be their rock and let them know that you're there for them and that you care about them. It helps you learn, and it shows that you can get through the bad times together as a couple. Another thing is, do not argue through text, no matter how hard it may be. But for one, they can't tell your tone through text. They can't tell if you're actually mad, if you're like kidding. Also, people can take things such a wrong way when they don't hear it from your actual voice because they're reading it. And then it causes you to be more angry and say stuff, and it goes back and forth, and it doesn't get you anywhere. So just like what we do is we have like a code word where, like, if we're texting and one of us like kind of gets like offended or upset or feels like it's going to turn into a fight, we'll say that word, and then we'll if it's important enough, we'll talk about it later on the phone. If it's not, we drop it. And it's simple as that, because then if you're talking on the phone, you may still kind of bicker, but you can hear the person's voice, and it makes it so much, like, it makes you less mad. You also need to realize that they have feelings too. So yes, it may hurt your feelings, but like, whatever happened could have hurt them. Another thing is to accept them for who they are. You can't change a person. Yes, they can change little stuff about them, and you can change change them for the better, but if you're making them give up things in life that are important to them, and if you're like making them a completely different person, then that's not the person you're meant to date. You're meant to date the person that you're trying to make them be. You to accept them for them because that's who they are, and everyone comes with flaws. Everyone comes with things that aren't perfect, and you can't just completely make them into this dream thing, because you're going to be pushing them away from you. You need to be best friends too. Like, yes, you're in a relationship, but there come times when it's not relationship-wise. Like, they're your best friend. They're your shoulder to cry on. They're who you gossip to. They're who you vent to. They're going to be there through it all. And there's times where they need to be your significant other, and then there's times when they need to be your best friend.
Bite your tongue so that you don't say something that you will regret in 20 minutes.
Because you were angry.
When you're not mad.
Yeah. So you need to be willing to fix it if you want it to work, and you can't be stubborn about it either.
Sometimes, even if you're right and she's completely wrong,
which is never happening.
Oh yeah. You have to apologize and be the bigger person, even though you're right, because it will end the argument or whatever.
Because if both people are stubborn, like, oh, I'm not going to apologize till they do, like, you're going to get nowhere. So sometimes, once you calm down, it's better to just apologize and fix it than just sit there in silence. So now it's time for the questions that I had my friends ask me, and obviously they're helpful. You may have the same question, or you may be feeling the same way and realize, and this is just our take on it, how we would handle the situation. I know everyone's different, obviously, but this is just our best advice. Since we're a couple, we're giving you couple advice. So, yeah, the first question. How do you keep the relationship interesting and fun? You need to do things together, like even if it's like going to a doctor appointment or going to the grocery store, like go with them. Like that just makes it like fun. You're doing the boring things together, so it makes it less boring. Also, you need to do something that you both enjoy doing together, but also do something that the other person enjoys. Even if it's not your cup of tea, it'll make them happy. You need to try new things that are out of your comfort zone, because that'll keep it fun and interesting. You need to think of like fun date ideas, stuff that'll be really fun. You need to get your family involved if that's like able for you to do, because that'll make it like more, it'll just make you closer. So I think it's fun to be old-fashioned and write down notes to each other instead of like texting all the time. Like, yes, you're gonna text, but like to do the old-fashioned like write notes back and forth, that just makes it like more fun, because people rely on like technology so much. You need to make traditions for the relationship, stuff that you guys are going to do all the time. Like, that's your routine, your tradition, and that just makes it so special. You guys need to take opportunities together, and every opportunity that you get, because that may be, your one-in-a-lifetime shot to do that. You also need to look for the fun in every activity, because, yeah, something may suck, but if you're just, like, saying, oh, this sucks, like, gonna get you nowhere.
Make doing dishes fun.
Yeah, make it fun. Just look at the fun at every activity. At least you guys are together in the sucky situation. Also, don't always do the same things. Like, you need to get out and do something adventurous sometimes. That'll keep the relationship spicy. Did I just use spicy? If it is meant to be, I feel like you won't get bored of the person no matter what. You could be sitting there doing nothing for hours, but you're with that person, so you're having fun. And that's what I just think. Like, if you're meant to be with that person, it shouldn't get, like, boring.
So one thing that I like about our relationship, we have a set day on Wednesday. Makes school and everything a lot more fun because I can look forward to Wednesday. It's right in the middle of the week. So if it's Monday and it sucks, because every Monday sucks, you can look forward to Wednesday. It's also good to have romantic nights and always try new things. Have deep conversations and learn their secrets and keep them.
So I made a list of just fun date ideas. Just, make a YouTube video together. That's fun. Also, there's movies, bowling, dinner, fishing, ice skating, roller skating, video games, talking on the phone, ask each other questions, shopping, go places together, make YouTube videos, like I said, do each other's makeup, even if you don't film it, do challenges, double dates, and games. So that's just some fun things you can do. How do you get over a toxic relationship? So I have a whole video on that, just how to get over a breakup in general, and I'm guessing this question means how to get over the relationship that was toxic, not if you're still in it. Well, if you're still in it, then, like, you need to end that. But I have a whole video linked, I'll link it down below. It's how to get over breakups and, like, tips and advice on, like, how to just get over the person and how to move on with your life and get closure. But mostly it just takes time, like everything, and getting closure does help so you can, like, get that full finished feeling. And once you realize that you're better without the toxic relationship, you'll feel a lot better. You will also learn from that relationship and take experiences from it. Also look at it as a good opportunity just to make you a stronger person. And obviously just know it wasn't meant to be for a reason.
So this is my first, like, real relationship, so I guess just go watch our video and see if that helps.
The next question is, why do people stay in on and off again relationships, breaking up and getting back together constantly? Beats me. I mean, why do they do that? When you really love someone, I think that they don't want to give up on them and, like, they think it's going to work. It's hard to let them go because they want to stay together and it's like a routine. They're so used to being with that person that they can't really see themselves with someone else and they can't really imagine life without them. So no matter how much it's not working out, they just want to be with that person. They think each time will be different after, every breakup when they get back together, like, oh, this time's different, They keep forgiving the other person, and sometimes, like, yes, it is good to forgive in a relationship, but if you forgive too much for the same things, like, you're gonna get nowhere. I feel like they're also afraid of, like, being with someone else and just afraid of what will happen. But like I said, sometimes relationships just can't work out. If things don't change but both people are putting in full effort, then I think after like 2 or 3 times at the most of getting back together, then you should just both learn that it's just not going to happen. Just for who you two are, it just can't. Maybe it will later on in life, but right now in both of your guys' lives, it's just not going to work out. I think someone deserves only so many chances, and if you, like I said, if you just keep forgiving them, it's just like they're gonna just assume that each time you're gonna take them back. And if you're meant to be, you will end up together, and if you're not, then you won't. So
a lot of people just don't want to start over because like if you're in a relationship for a year and a half or whatever, you don't want to start over.
You just don't want it to go all down the drain.
Like my cousin, like that. She didn't want to just start over because she's been with a guy for a year and 3 months and he just weird without him. So a relationship like that is not worth all the crying and self-destructiveness that you are putting on yourself by staying.
How to deal with going long periods of time not being able to see each other. So I would say just talk as much as possible, FaceTime, Skype, on the phone, whatever you can do. You need to make time to talk to that person. Obviously, you need to make like a set time every night or something to at least, have that special time with them. You need to text every day no matter what. You can't just not text them for 3 days and then assume that everything's just back to normal. You need to be consistent with it. And I think long distance relationships just make seeing each other more special when you do get to see them, because it's not like regular relationships where they're together every day. So yes, they look forward to it, but they're used to it. When you get to see them after you haven't seen them for so long, it just makes it more special for you. If you guys are in the same state or within driving distance of each other, like a reasonable time, then you need to make time to see each other, and you can either take turns with who drives where, or meet in the middle halfway and go on a date around that area. I would say do that at least once a month, if not more, if you can do it more, but at the least amount once a month. And if you guys are really meant to be, it will work itself out no matter what. You also need to make them top priority of things out of all the things to do during the day, because that's making sure that the relationship is going to stay strong. And if you don't have time for them, then you shouldn't be dating them.
I would say FaceTime or Skype and set time aside so you can talk to them and still stay close to them even though you're at a far distance away.
What if your boyfriend has a girl that is a friend who he says are just friends, and she doesn't like him, but you, the girlfriend, know she likes him? So I would say that if you want to still be with him, you can't make them stop having friends. If they were friends before you guys started dating, then sadly they're gonna keep those friends. It's like him telling you you can't be friends with your friends. So but the thing is again, he chose to be with you, not her, and I think that you should just talk to him and ask him about it and let him know that it bothers you, and that's all you can do, because he can't read your mind, and then you guys can come to a compromise. Maybe try hanging out with both of them when they're hanging out, and then as long as you trust him, then it should be fine. If you don't trust him, that's when the problem will arise. You need to ask him to be honest no matter what, and once he opens up to you, that'll make you realize how much he actually wants to be with you and not someone else. You also need to discuss how you want to address the situation for the future. If he likes you enough, he'll want to be with you no matter what. And sometimes in relationships you have to bring up topics that aren't fun to bring up, but you need to bring them up, and you have to be brave, and you just have to confront him about it. I think you should take it as a compliment that he chose to date you and not the friend that he was friends with for so long. And yeah, sometimes people in relationships get crushes, but it happens. But as long as you guys are in a loving, healthy, happy relationship, and both of you are happy with where you are and who you're with, then I don't think it should be a problem. It all comes down to trust and honesty. You need to say how you feel, and he also needs to say how he feels. And then you also need to compromise and meet in the middle on that situation. But you need to let him know how you feel, and if he cares enough, he will want to fix it. Also, you can keep an extra eye out on them, but don't be crazy stalkerish, And what you can also do is have him straight up ask her. Since they're friends and since they're close, he can just honestly just ask her, hey, I really want to know, do you like me? I just need to know because I don't want it to ruin anything with my girlfriend. You and I can still be friends. I'm just setting it straight that that's all we are. If he's willing to do that for you, then that's great, because he'll just go to the girl and let her know that they are only friends. Both of you guys will have to be brave and just talk about it, and he can just tell her that he's in a happy relationship and just doesn't want anything to ruin it.
He may not realize the situation, what's going on, that she likes him, so just maybe ask him to see if there's any signs that she's flirting with you or him.
The next question.
Get your ears ready.
How do you get a boy to not cheat on you? You need to be honest with how you feel. You need to tell him, hey, I want to be in this relationship with you, and I don't want to be cheated on. And before you get into this long, deep, loving relationship, tell them that beforehand. If you're going to cheat on me, then tell me. Let's not date if that's going to happen. And then just straight up be honest with how you feel, because you want to trust them. And if they're willing to be in a serious relationship with you, then they'll say, okay, no, I'm not going to cheat on you. Or they'll be like, honestly, yeah, I probably would. And then you'll know not to get in that long relationship. And then tell him you would rather him just leave you than cheat on you. Just be okay, if you really want to be with that other girl or want to be with someone else, then tell me first and don't actually go and do the action of cheating. Because I know that hurts way more if they actually cheat on you than if they just left you beforehand. Also need to realize that not every boy is a cheater. There's actually some decent people out there. Yes. If he truly likes you, he should not be cheating on you. Simple as that. Why would he even... Yeah. The main reason a person cheats is because their relationship they're currently in is lacking something or missing something that they need or want, and so they go and find that with someone else, but they still want to be in their relationship because of all the memories and how much they like the person, but they're getting that fulfillment from someone else. Guys get bored very easily, and that's back to our first question on how to keep the relationship fun and interesting. You want him to keep interest in you and no one else. That'll prevent him from cheating. You need to let him learn something new about you every once in a while so it keeps it from getting boring. And you can also change up your guys' routine. And if you spend as much time with him as possible, then you're with him all the time, that'll give him like less time to cheat, because if you're literally with him, how can he be physically, cheating on you?
If you like him and he likes you, you really shouldn't have to worry about it. Simple as that. If it's because the guy is texting too many girls, you can check his phone like once, like every time you see him, or every other time if it really bothers you. But don't do it behind his back while he was sleeping.
Yeah, you need to just straight up be like, I want you to earn my trust, and I'm going to check your phone in front of you so you can watch me physically do it. And then if he's like hesitant about it, that's when you can worry.
Communication and trust.
My boyfriend always tells me he's going to sleep, so he tells me goodnight, but then the next day I find out he went to church, which is like a club but for teens. I never heard of a church band club for teens, but whatever, okay. I don't get mad when he wants to hang out with his friends, or if he wants to go out with me, or wants to go out without me, so I don't know why he does that. You just need to ask him, like, straight up, like, why do you even lie to me? Like, and tell him that what you just put in that question. I don't mind if he hangs out without me. I just don't know why he does that. You need to tell him that. Like, I don't care. I'm not going to be mad. I'd rather you tell me the truth than lie to me, because that's what makes it look suspicious. Why does he have to lie to you? If you're going to be okay with it and you're going to be cool with it, he shouldn't have a reason to lie. And if you tell him that and he continues to lie, that's when you'll have a problem. But if you tell him that and he fixes it, then you should be fine. But there's no reason to lie about being asleep or where he is. You can just be like, hey, I'm hanging out with my guy friends, or hey, I honestly don't want to hang out. Like, just say that. Like, I mean, yeah, it's rude, but it's better than lying, you know what I mean? And like, what's the point of lying? That's when it looks fishy, is that he has to cover up something.
Fishy.
If you tell him how it makes you feel, and if he really cares about you, he will want to fix it.
Next time you hang out, just ask him and have a deep conversation that will make your relationship stronger, or you'll find out why he does that. And
how do I get a dude to like me? Okay, first off, you can't get a dude to like you. You can't physically or emotionally make someone like you. You need to be yourself. That's the key, because if you act like someone else or like a different person, then they're gonna soon see through that when they're dating you and when they're close to you, and they're gonna find out, and then they're not gonna like you for you. They're gonna like the person that you were acting like. If you find someone that genuinely likes you for you, then you won't have to worry about it, and they'll actually be in love with your personality. You should just be extra flirty. Let him know that you're interested. Look extra cute. Like, don't completely change your look, like I said, because it's about being yourself, but just like extra cute. Find out common hobbies that you guys have in common, and that'll help spark up a conversation. Ask him to hang out with you so he can really get to know who you are as a person, and you guys can get to know each other.
flirt with him. Make sure he wants a relationship. Cute, and flirt some more.
Yep, that's all you can really do. And then if he still doesn't like you, then move on to the next one, because you want someone to like you for you.
Objection.
How do I get a relationship to stay/last? Trust and communication. That's like the main thing, obviously. That's what this whole video is really about. So everything we've said so far as well. Honesty and loyalty. You have to be honest with them. You have to be loyal to them. You can't read each other's minds. All of that. Effort, compromise. You have to be wanting to make it work. You can't just give up. Be like, yep, I give up. Like, you have to be wanting to make it work. You also need to talk in person, because that helps a lot with every problem. Also should hang out as much as possible, like not too much where you get on each other's nerves, but you need to hang out as much as possible, because that helps too. Have deep combos all the time. Like, those are what, like, conversations, combos. And keep it fun. Like, the first goes back to our first question on how to keep it fun and interesting.
So my 4 things was effort, trust, communication, and compromise. And she kind of went into detail about all of them.
What if you're being pressured by your significant other? Well, I don't think that's okay. They should not be pressuring you. No one should force you or make you do anything that you don't want to do. So you need to talk to them about how you feel and let them know that it hurts you. Tell them if they really liked you that they wouldn't force you to do something. And they should wait till you're ready if they really love you. You also need to come to a compromise and meet in the middle with that. And I think that they should want to be with you for you as a person and not for, like, the sex, obviously. And you need to have him prove that to you, like, before you like if you're not ready, have him prove to you that he wants to be with you for more than that. And you guys should also come to an agreement for the future on what to do in that situation, and just both of you need to be brave and talk about how you feel.
This sounds like the start of a toxic relationship. Talk and tell him or her you feel pressured. He or she truly cares. That person will back off.
What if the other person wants to join the military? So you have to support them with like what they want to do in life, and that comes with dating the person, like, you know, supporting their dreams and their wishes and their career choice. And you should also respect that they're picking such a brave job. Like, I personally wouldn't be able to do that, so the fact that they're like risking their lives for people is like such a cool thing. You should be proud of them. You need to support them and also understand why they want to do it from their point of view. Even though you don't understand it personally, they have their own reason for it. You can't stop them from doing what they love, especially if it's their dream jobs. Like, there's pros and cons about it, but if you really want to be with them, then the pros should outweigh the cons. If you can't handle it, then you shouldn't be with them because you can't handle it. So trying to force them to not go will hurt them as much as it's hurting you. Tell them how you feel about it, but don't pressure them into not going. You need to let them make their own choices because they're their own person. You should just be there to support them and let them know that you care and pray for them. And you can either decide to take a break till they get back, or you can stay with them. And then just think about how you would feel if they didn't support your dream job. And obviously communication, and you need to believe in them and continue loving them.
If you're not okay and can't handle this choice, just break up with them. Don't ruin each other's lives because of that. And if you're both single, when it's time to get out of there, just, like, hook back up.
How to juggle relationship, family, friends, work, and extra activities. So it's all about time management. You have to be able to manage the time for each one of those things and prioritize. So put what's most important, obviously, and then go down from there. You need to schedule time for certain things, especially like with your significant other. You need to make time for them. Also, though, need to take time to relax yourself, because if you're just constantly busy and constantly doing stuff, never like by yourself, you're going to drive yourself insane. So you also need some free time. You should also just take out of your schedule what's like overwhelming you and what's unneeded, because obviously you should only be doing things that you want to do and that make you happy. You can also invite your friends and your boyfriend or significant other to other events and family events so you're still getting to see them during that time. And make your friend time separate from your relationship time, but then sometimes you can put them together depending on your situation. You should also schedule important dates off ahead of time for work. Hang out with your significant other as much as possible. You can also both try to plan your work schedules around each other or look at your schedules and see when you're both free. Have them help you with homework and projects, because then you're still getting something productive and important done, but you're doing it together and they can help you. Invite them to activities and games of yours. Make extra time just for them, and set that time aside so you know that you have time for them. And then you can also just vent to your boyfriend about how hectic your life is.
Plan, and plan.
That was our relationship tips and advice. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this was helpful, at least in some way or form, and hopefully we answered your questions to the best of our ability. If you have any other questions or want to do a part 2 with more questions or us to elaborate on a certain topic, leave it in the comments below and we will do that. All of our other videos we filmed will be linked down below. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.